Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Way of the Goddess. Welcome. I thank you so much for joining in on this beautiful Sunday, and I hope you're having a blessed day. Thank you. So, today we're going to be going into a very important topic, wealth manifestations. Get your mind right, get your money right, right? Everybody, we are all trying to get our money situation right, especially with the pandemic, and so many of us have gone through different experiences with money. Some gain more, some lost money, but I want us to move forward in a space of empowerment that no matter what's happening in our lives or what's happening in our environment, we are going to attract the abundance, the wealth, the money that we need in order to move forward and get things done, especially for those of you who are working on your passion, working on your purpose. And, those things are wonderful and amazing, but we know money is important. It is. We can't disagree on that. Money is important, and this is how we operate our life and whatnot. So before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Terry Shaw. I am the founder and CEO of Terry Shaw Inspires. Don't forget to check out Creators Inspires series every second and third Sundays of each month. And the Way of the Goddess series is always on the fourth Sundays of every month. So today, we're going to be talking about, how to get your mind right? Because your mind needs to be right about how you have a relationship with money before you start inviting more money into your life. And so we're also going to be talking about that, and I'm going to be sharing practical tools that you can use and certain ways how you can start taking control of how you earn your money and how you keep it. Because we can get money, but keeping it is another thing, right? You have to find ways on how to ensure that it's coming back to you always. So thank you so much for joining in, everyone. I appreciate it. So today I also want to make sure that don't forget to go out and get your copy of The Power of ABCs. The book is doing so well, y'all. Y'all need to definitely go out and check it out. It's such a transformational book, very inspirational. Stories from my own life, stories from that I use to transform the way I see the world. Because we are not our past experiences. We are way beyond that. We are goddesses and gods. And if we see it and believe it and trust the power that's flowing from our hearts, then anything can happen. I do believe that because it's happened in my own life. And this is why I'm always here trying to teach others how to do this. So I just want to thank you. Make sure you get a copy of The Power of ABCs on Amazon.com. Also on my website, terryshawinspires.com. So let's talk about getting your mind right? So before we start to manifest money or any form of gifts, any form of abundance, we have to understand the relationship that we have with such energy. So what does your money mind look like? Is it something that you're always stressing over? You feel like you don't have enough? I feel like sometimes that's the thing. Like, people don't feel like they have enough money to do what they need to do. They're always wanting more, instead of being in a place of gratitude for what they already have. Now, I could say this and it sounds so simple, but it's not that easy, right? Because a lot of us have aspirations, we have goals, and there's so many things that we want to do. But without the resources in order to push it forward, then we feel like, we're just never going to have it. And so this is a cause for concern. So one of the things, you definitely have to start looking at is that you have to become satisfied with what you have. And this is coming from a place of gratitude. This is how you get your mind right about money. Satisfied with what you have. Even if you have $5 in your bank account, $5 can go a long way. You know what I mean? You split that $5 to make it work for you, it goes a long way, and then you'll continuously be blessed with more because there's more coming. We are never short. We only think we're short based on what we see, the perception from our senses, right? But if you open up your understanding that your spiritual bank account is always full, You just have to find ways how to get it to be in your physical bank account and work towards that goal. Now, the important thing is not about chasing money, because we are not in an energy, about chasing it. I want so much money, I'm gonna go start doing all the things that I can do to attract more money. That's not the way we should go about it. The important thing is that we should learn how to attract it. Now, how do you do that, right? First, I always recommend start on something that you love. If you have something that really feeds your soul, like, I don't know, if you're an author, for instance, or if you bake, or if you're good at event planning, focus on these things, because then you won't be worried about the money, right? You'll be more concerned about how I'm gonna make my customers happy. How am I gonna make, you're just gonna be doing it because it feels good. And this is where you're in that energy of feeling good all the time, where you're gonna start attracting more abundance. And for my own life, I can tell people, when I was growing up, I was always told, oh, go do, like, for instance, nursing or something, because that's where the money is, or go do, teaching, because you have more stability there. But I chose different. I chose to become a mathematician. Now, first it was like, you're crazy, why would you do that? What can you do with a math degree? And I'm like, I don't know. That's the first thing I said. I don't know. But I trust what I'm doing, because I believe that I have a passion for numbers, and I have a passion for accounting. And once I have that passion, what happens is that the energy start flowing, attracting jobs that needed to fuel that passion and desire that I'm putting into, wanting to do something where I'm able to crunch numbers or do something different. And this is how I end up building a career around finance. I've been in higher ed for 12 years. Doing since I was very young. I think 21, 22, probably, yeah, very young. So I'm gonna be 34 soon, this week actually. So yeah, birthday. So this week, I thought about it, and I was reflecting, and I said, you know what? I would not have, imagine if I listened to other people and just do things because there's just money involved in it. It's just crazy. Oh, Renee, I also have a math and computer science degree. Oh, Ray, that's STEM. So we STEM girls, awesome. So it's so important that you follow your passion, and then you will start attracting everything that's gonna line up for you, and you'll start attracting more abundance. Now, does it happen overnight? Oh no, it doesn't. It took me 12 years to get where I am. And that's constantly working, because I did not try to follow the money. Even when I was at work and I see everybody getting promotion, that didn't bother me, people getting promotion, because I knew my time is not God's time. And when God wants me to get a promotion, it will happen. And let me tell you, that's why I said your mindset, your mentality is so important. Don't ever covet what someone else is going through, because everybody's timeline is different, right? So it's important that you be patient with the process when you are trying to attract more abundance in your life. Another thing that I want to talk about is building a relationship with money. Now, some people like to squander, like spend money wildly, and think about your money as like someone else, because money is also energy. And so, would you treat someone, like squander them or waste them or abuse them or use them in such a way that they feel bad about you? Would you do that to someone else? You have to start looking at money like that. Yeah, right? You have to learn to forgive the way you use money in the past in order to attract more in your life. And it's so important that that relationship that you're building is focused on being conscious about how you spend it. So there are times when we need to spend money, yes, but is it necessary? Is it needed? Are you satisfied with what you have? It all goes back to, being satisfied and being conscious about how you're using that how you're using that energy, or how you're building that relationship with this energy of money. And we can say so many things. I've always, growing up in Jamaica, I've always heard, and this is from a religious background, money is the root to all evils. Like, if you still have that concept in your mind, you gotta get rid of that. You cannot attract money with that money is the root to all evil. No. Money cannot walk into your house and steal stuff from you. People walk into your house and steal stuff from you. It's the way how people treat and use money, and that's why it's always been known as money is the root to all evil. And it's just not true, and we have to get rid of that thought process and that thinking and that way of perception, because you're just blocking your own blessings when you start thinking that way. Another thing is that, let me just double check here to make sure. Another thing with money is I like to call, for those of you who live in the US, Uncle Sam. We have Uncle Sam, and if you're in another country, it's the same person. Let me see. Renee said, money is the love of money is the, thank you. There's more there, Renee. The love of money is the, we'll get back to what Renee is saying. I would love to hear more. So, so basically, in regards to, getting your mind right, and also understanding, like, if you live in America, I was talking about Uncle Sam. And every time we hear Uncle Sam, we think about taxes, we think about our bills, we think, oh, Uncle Sam is gonna come and get you, right? In each country, we all have this version of Uncle Sam, the bill collector, the government, basically. If you don't pay your bills, this is what's gonna happen. Debt collectors, all these different things. When I first came to this country and I learned about Uncle Sam, it scared me. Like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta work and make sure I pay my bills. And that's all I was focusing on. Paying my bills. Just pay my bills. But then I never directed my resources anywhere else. So I created this version. Like, we have Uncle Sam. I created Auntie Samantha. Auntie Samantha is all about saving. It's the balance between Uncle Sam. If you are not, giving money to Auntie Samantha as well, then you're always going to be paying Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam, right, is all about taxing, is all about debt, bills, because that's the idea that's surrounded when you hear Uncle Sam. But you have to create an Auntie Samantha in your life, where how are you saving, how are you developing wealth, how are you growing, how are you focusing on money, how are you, what are your habits towards how you spend money. And so the balance between the two is how you're going to balance how you attract money in your life. So they balance each other out, Uncle Sam and Auntie Samantha. So you never heard that anywhere else. This is Auntie Samantha. This is what I call her when I'm saving my money. And you can go ahead and implement the Auntie Samantha in your life in order to get your money right. So, that's so important. So how can you implement Auntie Samantha? So a savings account versus like a bill account. So one of the ways that I started doing this was that I never tried to mix my money. So we all started with one bank account. Like, when we were young, our parents opened a bank account for us, or we may have opened a bank account for ourselves. But as we grow older and we have more responsibilities, we used to save from that same account, pay bills from that same account, spend from that same account, and we can't do that anymore. Now we gotta diversify our savings account. We have to create a bank account where, if you can, create a bank account. And I don't mean go put it under your bed, because you can save all the money you want under your bed. That's no way it's gonna build you wealth, right? This is just some of the things that I've experienced and what I've noticed in my own life, and from reading and from, going through certain things, and I'm sharing with everyone. So you have to be able to separate the two. You have one account where you pay your bills, one account where you save, and the one where you save is automatic. You're just putting money in there. So if you're working right now, or you work a job, make sure you see that money coming out of your paycheck go straight to that account, and you don't check it. You don't check it. The only time you may need to check it is if you want to check on your progress and see where you're going, and you can just give yourself a pat on the back or say, oh wow, like look how much I've saved and I didn't even realize. And that's the beauty about building wealth. Like it's just automatic, and you get in that mode of automation and everything just starts flowing, flowing back to you. And then you have your other account where your bills, you have your major bills, like if you have a mortgage like I do, or if you have, good morning. It's afternoon where I am. So good morning to you too. So it's like everything is, it's all about how you structure your environment in order to receive wealth. If you have a side business or if you open a business, it's important to have a business account. Separate everything. Don't ensure you mix everything. Separate your business from your savings, from your bills account, and just make sure you just keep track of this. Now, it sounds like a lot, right? But it's only a lot if you don't organize your mindset about how you want to continuously build wealth in your life, right? So another thing that I also want to talk about is stocks. Now, not many people are afraid of the stock market. I must say, you have to, when we hear about the stock market, we get scared, like, oh, if I put my money in it, I'm just gonna lose all my money. And that's another mindset too that you kind of have to slowly walk away from. Not everybody lose their money in the stock markets. It's how you purchase stock. There's so many different ways to purchase stocks. It's not just how, what someone else is doing or what you read in the newspaper. There's so many different ways. And if you're not sure about what you're doing, you can sign up for an app. If you live in the US, I think it's only for people who live in the US. If you're in other countries, I'm not sure. You need to probably check to see what your country is doing and how they're invested in the stock market. But you can do like Acorns. Acorns is my go-to app. You just put money in and they're the ones that take care of everything. And they diversify your funds and everything. You want to become more aggressive because you're younger. If you want to be more conservative because you're afraid that you're going to lose all your money, so you invest in bonds or something. It's so many different ways that you can utilize the stock market and utilize different investment portfolios like ETFs, right? ETFs are like a mixture of funds that if one fund fails in that ETF group, then it's gonna have minimal impact on how much you've put in there, because the amount of I want to say energy that flows from that one failed stock is not gonna interrupt with the flow of your entire money, right? Unless all of them fail, which is very unlikely. And so check out these things, ETFs, stocks. If you're interested in that topics, don't be afraid to explore, ways to build wealth. It's so important, and especially as us women, and also in the Black community, we are always like, oh, I don't trust the government, I don't trust the stock market. We gotta get away from that. No. We are in a new era, and it's time for us to clean up our mindsets about money and how we attract it, and stop thinking that it's the root to all evils. It's not. You need it. You need money in order to survive, because that's the reality that we live in. Unless everything falters one day and we don't need money, but it goes back to a barter or exchange system. In that case, you still need money. So focus on trying to clean up your mindset around it. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the importance of reading. So I didn't get anywhere just by just trying certain things. Some of it I did. I have to admit, some of it I had to fail. I had to fail many times about money in order for me to start build up different ways about how I was using money. And those are lessons learned, and I wish never to repeat some of them. But I think it's important that you try to read, right? Read different books. So one of the books that I first started reading, and I think is so important, is called The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. This is a classic. This is a timeless piece. You see how thin this book is? That's all it is. Probably how many pages? I've read this whole book, 90 pages. Actually, 87. 87 pages, 3 pages less. But 87 pages of such potent knowledge in this book that is so important that you invest in trying to build your mindset. I'm not going to tell you what the book is about because I want you to go get it. I want you to read and figure out what the book is about, because this is how you're going to start. Try to find ways about different people who've written, books about how to build wealth. Another book that I recently read, it wasn't exactly telling you how to focus on money, but it's just the fact that, it's an inspirational book for screw it, let's do it, right? A lot of the time we contemplate things. We don't, it's good to plan, but in the stage of planning, we get lost in details. So sometimes when you feel the urge to do something, not impulsively, but you're inspired to do so, you just want to do it. And when you do it, then you just let everything else fall from there. And sometimes we just contemplate and concentrate too much that we lose sight of the vision. And in Richard Branson's book, if you don't know who Richard Branson is, he's like top billionaire, Virgin Atlantic, right? Trying to build a shuttle that goes to space for people's first passenger space shuttle into, I don't know what planet, Mars or something. But definitely check out Richard Branson. He's he's a philanthropist. He has so much wisdom and knowledge about, how he builds wealth. And for him, it was just the drive and also following the passions. And this is so key and important if you want to do that with your own life. Another book, I'm in the process of reading this, The Millionaire Next Door, which talks about many people who are actually wealthy don't look like they're wealthy at all. And I do believe this because there are people who live in very modest house, very dressed modestly. They don't buy the most expensive cars, and they're sitting on treasures. Yeah, people like this. So, and that's actually, I think, is the best way to go, because I'm not all about that fashion and fame life. I'm all about keeping it simple. So it's, sometimes you have to, what other people have done, and if it inspires you, then you can follow through. It's just, it's so important, right? And, I don't think I'm going to put that book there. And then another thing, you have the Branson Institute, where you have support and funding for new businesses. Good. Thank you, Nastasia, for saying that. So for those of you in the Caribbean and other areas as well, that's great to know. I did not know that. Thank you, Nastasia, for saying that. That's good to have that Institute of Learning that teaches you how to get new opportunities for your businesses. If you're trying to get, your business off the ground, you're a startup and you're looking for startup funding and looking for ways to get into the game. And again, another thing I also wanted to point about money. So no matter how you get it, don't be ashamed of how you get your money. Because a lot of times there's shame around how you get your money. Like, I posted this on Facebook the other day about people who kind of, I want to use the word bash in quotation. Maybe it sounds a bit extreme, but I think it's bashing. Bashing other people for working a regular 9-to-5 jobs, and they're bashing people for working for multiple. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter how you get your money, as long as you use money in the right way and build a relationship with it. It's whatever. And don't let anyone else make you feel like how you get your money is not the right way and you should be doing this because you need to build wealth. It doesn't work that way. Follow your intuition and do things that drives and motivates your heart, not just your mind, but motivates your heart. Because if there's no passion in it, if there's no purpose in it, don't even try it. And you can constantly chase the money and it comes fast to you. Anything that comes fast just leaves fast, and that's just what I've seen happen in my own life. It's the truth. It comes quick, it goes quick. So focus on slowly building it, slowly but surely you will get there, right? And so I do want to leave you with a word of wisdom. No matter what you're doing or no matter how you see yourself, it's important that you believe in the path that you're creating, you believe in the energy that you're putting out there, and you believe that wherever you're going next is a place of prosperity, abundance, and success. No matter what is thrown your way, no matter how many challenges come up, you are continuously moving forward and you never give in and you never give up. All right, everyone. So take care. This is episode 2 of The Way of the Goddess. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not, please get your copy of The Power of ABCs on Amazon.com or Terry Shaw Inspires. And we'll be seeing you next time at end of March, episode 3. Take care.